Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. Like you, I can't wait for Bucs training camp to get here, and this should be another winning season in Tampa Bay. And the most interesting thing about camp each year is the top training camp battle. Last year, it was the focus on who would wind up as Tom Brady's replacement, Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. This year's top training camp battle isn't as headline worthy as the starting quarterback job, but it's still going to be a good one. Of course, I'm talking about the battle to see who will be the Bucs' third wide receiver this season between incumbent second-year pro Trey Palmer and newcomer Jalen McMillan, the Bucs' third-round pick. So what makes this training camp battle so interesting and so important? Well, let's take a look, shall we? There are two things that make this battle for the third wide receiver position so intriguing. First, it's expected to be a close competition. The edge that Trey Palmer has is 1 year's worth of NFL experience playing with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and catching passes from Baker Mayfield. Palmer, a sixth-round pick a year ago, caught 39 passes for 385 yards and 3 TDs as a rookie. He also added a 56-yard catch-and-run TD against the Eagles in the playoffs and had 2 catches for 32 yards versus the Lions the next week. Palmer only had one big year in college, beginning his career at LSU before transferring to Nebraska for his senior season. His most productive year with the Tigers was catching 30 passes for 344 yards and 3 TDs before hauling in 71 catches for 1,043 yards and 9 TDs with the Cornhuskers. That junior season at LSU was similar to the numbers that he put up during his rookie year in Tampa Bay. Bucs sources tell Pewter Report that Palmer has had a very good offseason and has made big strides with his route running and his hands. Palmer had several drops last year in addition to 3 fumbles, so he really needs to work on ball security this offseason. Palmer also needs to work on catching the deep ball from Baker Mayfield. The two really struggled to connect on deep passes last year, and one of the reasons why the Bucs were so excited to draft Palmer was his 4.33 speed. But his 9.9-yard receiving average certainly didn't reflect that speed. This is what Bucs wide receiver Chris Godwin had to say about Palmer this offseason and his ability to shrug off the mistakes he made last year. He doesn't take anything too serious. Yeah, he had some ups and downs, but his ability to bounce back is going to really help him as he continues to progress in his career. I'm proud of him so far, and I think Trey is going to continue to be a big part of what we do. The more talented guys we have in our room, the better off we'll be. McMillan comes to the Bucs with the higher draft billing as a third-round selection, so there is an expectation that he'll see the field as soon as possible. In 2002, he, not Romadunze, led Washington in receptions and touchdowns, and he had a 1,000-yard season that particular season. Last year, he got hurt and missed 4 games, causing his numbers and his draft stock to slide. There's a lot to like about McMillan, who will start off as a flanker or the Z receiver position in Tampa, but his natural position could be the slot as Chris Godwin's eventual replacement down the road. Now, McMillan played almost exclusively in the slot last year with Odunze and Jalen Polk outside, and you'll see him rotate into the slot somewhat this year as a rookie. This is what Baker Mayfield had to say about McMillan after throwing the ball to him in OTAs and the minicamp. He is really friendly at the top of his routes. He attacks the ball, catches with his hands. He's explosive. He's a smooth route runner. Now, having him put it all together in the offense, get all these alerts, these cans, and I think playing fast for him is really the next step of mastering this offense so he can use the physical talent that he has. And this is what Bucs head coach Todd Bowles had to say about the rookie wide receiver in minicamp as well. Anytime you can get another ball catcher, route runner, and intelligent receiver, he fits in well, no matter where we put him. We've got a couple of guys behind him, obviously Trey Palmer, Rock, which is Raheem Jarrett, and the rest of the guys can play as well. But he fits in well with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. That quote was kind of telling, wasn't it? Bowles said that Palmer was behind McMillan, and it probably didn't help Palmer's cause that he missed the mandatory minicamp with the minor injury. It's going to be interesting to see in training camp if McMillan can stave off Palmer and maintain his slim lead over him for the battle for that wide receiver position, number 3 in the depth chart. I said there were 2 reasons why this battle is so interesting. The first is that it's a close competition between a pair of 6'1", 192-pound talented receivers. The other reason is that the Bucs will be running a ton of 3 wide receiver sets in Liam Cohen's new offense. So the winner of the Palmer-McMillan battle will be a starter on offense. There will be a loser in this training camp battle, but the real winner is the Buccaneers for having a really good, talented wide receiver room with a 4th wide receiver that also has starter ability, whether that ends up being McMillan or Palmer. We know that Palmer can play, and the expectation is that McMillan will be even better once he gets some needed experience. So if Mike Evans or Chris Godwin or whoever wide receiver number 3 ends up being needs a breather, a very talented wide receiver number 4 will be waiting to come in the game. And the Bucs passing game shouldn't really miss a beat. We hope that you don't miss a beat when it comes to our video content. Make sure you check it out at Pewter Report TV. That's our YouTube channel. Please leave a thumbs up, hit the thumbs up button, and leave a comment. Those 2 things help our algorithm with YouTube and getting us in front of more awesome Pewter people like you. Pewter Report TV is where you can find all my Pewter Pulse videos, the Pewter Report podcasts, and other great Bucs video content. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report, and also pewterreport.com. And I'll be back soon with a new Pewter Pulse.